Hi, I'm going to introduce you to Albatross 4, our brand new release of gaia.eco. Alright, let's start. There are major changes in the map module, and then there is a brand new module called layers. So here we have the map, and here we have the new module layers. Let's take a look at the map module. Here I have searched for occurrences, in this case of birds. Here you have a new widget at the very top, which shows you a curve of occurrences over time. The numbers at the bottom are amount of occurrences, and here I have the dates month by month from last year to this year. You can move the knobs and show, for example, the last 2 weeks worth of data. You can also press play button to play 1 week after the other. And this will allow you to track migrations over time. All right, this is basically the last 2 weeks worth of data. Now, there is another major update or upgrade, and it's this button. It allows me to select a file with custom occurrences which I've made in the field and upload it next to my occurrences which have already been searched. So let's take a look at this sheet. If you are uploading Excel, you will get a drop down of sheets right here. And here I have a bunch of columns in the Excel file. And what I have to do is I have to map these columns to Gaia's data structure. So let's drop down first here. It says scientific name, and we have a Gaia parameter called species in Latin. So let's map that to that. Lat, LNG stands for latitude, longitude. Again, let's select those right here. Event date, that will be the date. Recorded by, that's the person who has done the recording. Institution code, provider institution, count we will ignore, and let's add those occurrences to the map. Here I have a bunch of new points. Let me change the base map to administrative map so we get a bit more contrast. And here we basically see that the histogram has expanded itself. Last year worth of birds in the southern Sweden where I searched before, but then there is a tiny bump 2 years ago, and it's basically these birds. All right, so that's the mix of custom occurrences from the field with the open data from GBIF. I have a new data table here called fieldwork, and I can see the raw data which I have just mapped with the widget for mapping occurrences right here. All right, let's take a look at the layers module. If I extend the main menu, I will see that there is a new button here called layers. And what this module does, it allows you to search for organizations WMS or WFS layers. So what I have done, I have searched for Swedish Environmental Protection Agency's data. And here I have the list of layers which are openly available. Let's click, for example, on this one, and let's select National Park. I can see that there is a preview with the features in this area, and I can add this to the map at the very top right of the layers screen. Now, when I have added that, you can see that here, one layer added to the map, I can show the map, and let's see the features on the map itself. So suddenly here I have a bunch of national parks, and I can zoom to the area, click on the feature, and I get metadata about this particular national park, which is called Sarek. And it's been established in 1909. But the fun thing is that you can take a look at the features of the GIS layers together with the occurrences which I have searched for before. So Albatross combines different data types here on the map module. I can turn on the histogram again so that I see my history. Here I have the occurrences of birds in Prague, and here I have the occurrences of birds in southern Sweden. Now let's do something more fun. Here I have the base layer map switch, but there is one new option called layers. So the layers which I have just searched for in the layers module show up as a widget in the map module. Now I scroll down, and what I want to see is natural habitats, which is here called Nature Tips Garden. So let's zoom in because this layer shows only at certain zoom level. So let's zoom into the birds in the southern Sweden in Falsterbo. And suddenly I have this raster layer coming from the WMS service from the Swedish Protection Agency. Environmental Protection Agency. And here I have a bunch of metadata. So here I have the name of the habitat. All of it is in Swedish. This says basically sandbanks. Let's zoom in and we can see where the birds are hanging out at the context of the habitats. So this says gray dunes. All right, so that's basically the layers. Again, here I can turn the widget on, and here I can turn off the layer. Basically, there is a sync in between this view and the map view layers. So whatever you find in layers will show up in the map so that you can do the switching easily. Let's, for example, select natural reserves and let's add that to the map. Let's show map, and you can see these green features. These are natural reserves in Sweden. So this is super powerful because you can combine occurrences with the context of the layers. For example, you can search for Swedish geological survey. This will render a whole new series of GIS layers, or you can type in the web page. scb.se is the Swedish Central Bureau for Statistics. So here you basically can type in an HTTPS hyperlink, or you can type in just the domain, such as the SCB, or you can just write a descriptive name like Swedish Environmental Protection Agency. And you click search, and after 3 or 4 minutes, you get all of these layers with features. I hope this is really useful. Give us feedback, that would be very useful, and good luck with doing ecosystem analytics with Gaia. Thank you.